Finally Friday, and it's time for your midday fix of facts and spicy sides.
From breaking headlines to backroom whispers.
All served hot and fresh. Happy Friday! I'm Paolo del Rosario, standing in for Monique Tuzon.
TGIF, I'm Ferdi Salvador. Glad to have you with us.
And I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is the Daily Dish.
Yes, Mai, you're in between us today because we are your bodyguards.
Yes, well, I would like to break the monotony of the dark blue-black ensemble.
And
so
talking
ako
about
yung
something dark,
pink.
we've just received news regarding the demise of Kim and Feli Atienza's daughter, Emmanuel. We send our sincerest condolences, and we hope that you have strength during this dark period in your family's life.
This is distressing
It's
news that we
distressing
received
news.
today. We are offering our sincerest condolences to the Atienza family, especially something like this will really shatter a family to its core.
It really hit us hard here in the studio when we found out. We just found out literally less than a half an hour ago, and of course trying to get all of the relevant facts for everyone to be able to ascertain exactly just what happened, and of course to send our sincerest condolences to the family as well.
Kuya Kim, our prayers are with you.
Yes, and
your
Feli, our
family.
prayers with you and the whole family. And other news, Mai
There's
and
breaking
Paolo.
news from
Yes.
the Sandigan Bayan today. It has acquitted former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile and some other people
Yes, Attorney Gigi
connected
Reyes.
to the pork barrel scam.
Yes, Attorney Gigi Reyes also acquitted
yeah.
with these charges, although she has served a couple of years because of this behind bars, unfortunately. But of course, now they're cleared, and also Janet Napoles and her two children are also cleared of this. We're going to be finding out what else Janet Napoles'
Our
cases
John
are.
Manalo is monitoring this story, and I heard the former Senate President joined the proceedings via Zoom. So I'd like to hear more about that.
Of course, there's still more news happening over at the Senate because Ombudsman Remulla will be facing lawmakers, especially when we talk about the 2016 dismissal against
There
Senator
was
Joey
a bit of
Villanueva.
confusion about that
Yes,
yesterday.
Absolutely. He was caught, apparently, based on some of his interviews. The way I understood it is he got, basically flat-footed when the information came out, and he is asking why the former ombudsman did not make it public.
So there
or-
was a 2016 dismissal order by the former ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales, but apparently there was a 2019 order dismissing dismissing that order. Was that the story?
Yes, or clearing. Well, basically
Clearing
with the former
Senator
Marites.
Joel Villanueva,
Martires.
but this was issued by former Ombudsman Samuel Martires.
Yes,
Correct.
and of course, they will not be pursuing this particular line at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, considering Ombudsman Remulla and Senator Joey Villanueva.
And the new ombudsman, Remulla, was apparently blindsided by this piece of news.
Yes. But of course, again, Zeus Coffee, they just opened their 1,000th branch. Zeus Coffee closed yesterday, October 22, to celebrate this milestone. Congratulations. They always perk us up with their beverages. Super, super, super thank you and congratulations.
And of course, they are taking over the world or all over the region.
1,000
And of course,
branch, that is
Europe,
big.
Southeast Asia, you name it. They're everywhere.
Yes.
And
Right,
of course,
and
Pao,
who's joining us today, Pao?
are you excited about this?
I'm excited for today because we have so many beauty queens, so many stars here coming in today. Josh Yugen, who is one of the national directors of many Miss Universe competitions and franchises, and we're going to get to know him. Of course, Miss Universe Sweden will be here, Miss Universe Egypt, Miss Universe Denmark, and of course, we are going to talk to them. I'm going to learn how to pronounce their last names properly because we've been practicing for a while. So a lot of
Very
that.
excited for that. They'll be brightening the studio for us today.
Of
And in
course.
sports, Pao, what's going on?
In sports, we have a bit of a throwback here because try and recall the name, Django Bustamante.
I recall.
Because Django Bustamante, at his advanced age, just stunned world #1 Fedor Gorst in the
How old is he?
2025 Philippines Open Pool Championship.
Wow.
I think he's 61.
Wow, 61.
It's incredible. Django Bustamante turning back the clock, showing everyone that class is permanent.
He is one of the legends.
Yes,
Along
he
with,
is.
well, when you
Class is
mention
permanent.
Django Bustamante,
Efren
the name
Bata
Efren
Reyes.
Bata Reyes comes
Yes.
to mind as well.
It was so nice to see, and the reaction of the crowd, fantastic. We'll talk a bit more about that later.
Proud
on.
moment.
Right. Those stories and more coming up. But first, the headlines.
This is my daily dish. This is my daily dish. This is my daily dish. My daily dish. My daily dish.
In today's headlines, acquitted. The Sandigan Bayan clears Chief Presidential Legal Counsel and former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile of graft charges in the pork barrel scam. Meanwhile, the International Criminal Court rules it has jurisdiction to prosecute former President Rodrigo Duterte. This defeats the Duterte camp's main legal attempt to prevent an actual trial from taking place. In sports, a throwback performance for Francisco Django Bustamante. The 61-year-old Q icon stuns world #1 Fedor Gorst in the 2025 Philippine Open Pool Championships. And some of the most beautiful women in the universe will join us live today. Catch our conversation with Miss Universe Sweden, Miss Universe Egypt, and Miss Universe Denmark, together with franchise owner Josh Yugen later in the show. In today's top story, the Sandigan Bayan clears Chief Presidential Legal Counsel and former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile of the remaining graft charges in connection to the pork barrel scam. Joan Manalo joins us live from the Anti-Graft Court for the details. Hi, Joan.
The Sandigan Bayan Special 3rd Division has acquitted former Senate President and Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Juan Ponce Enrile on 15 counts of graft over the alleged misuse of his 172.8 million peso PIDAF or pork barrel. Also cleared were Enrile's former Chief of Staff Jessica Gigi Reyes and businesswoman Janet Lim Napoles. The Sandigan Bayan ruled that the prosecution failed to prove the guilt of the accused beyond reasonable doubt. In its 193-page decision, penned by Special 3rd Division Chairperson Justice Ronald Moreno, the court also did not impose any civil liability or fine on Enrile, Reyes, and Enrile's former Deputy Chief of Staff Jose Antonio Evangelista, who was also acquitted of all counts of graft charges. The decision was issued per curiam, meaning it was arrived at unanimously by the members of the division. As a result of the court's ruling, all hold departure orders issued against the accused have been lifted. Enrile attended the promulgation online from his hospital bed, where he is currently confined. Napoles also attended online from the Correctional Institution for Women in Mandaluyong, while Reyes was physically present in court alongside other accused. When asked how she felt about the acquittal, Reyes simply said that she was thankful. Enrile, Reyes, and Napoles were first indicted for plunder, accused of pocketing 172.8 million pesos in kickbacks from Enrile's PIDAF between 2004 and 2010. And last October 4, 2024, the Sandigan Bayan acquitted Enrile of plunder, saying that the prosecution also failed to prove that he received at least 50 million in kickbacks, which is the threshold required for plunder under the law. Maya.
Joan, this is a case that ran for 11 years. How did the accused, particularly the camp of former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile, and also the prosecution, how did they react to the court's decision?
Earlier, Juan Ponce Enrile was only attended the promulgation online, and we did not really see his camp present during the promulgation. But earlier, it was his former chief of staff, Reyes, was present, and her lawyer as well, and they said that they were not expecting the court to rule the acquittal of the accused, and the prosecution immediately left after the promulgation occurred, so we weren't really able to get their reaction on the decision of the court. Mai.
All right, thank you, Joan Manalo, reporting to us on this breaking news story. The International Criminal Court upholds its jurisdiction over the case of former President Rodrigo Duterte. The court rejected his argument that the Philippines' withdrawal from the Rome Statute in 2018 stripped the ICC's authority over the case. Josh Malimban joins us for the latest. Josh, go ahead.
The International Criminal Court has ruled that it has jurisdiction to prosecute former President Rodrigo Duterte for alleged crimes against humanity, rejecting his argument that the Philippines' 2018 withdrawal from the Rome Statute stripped the court of authority over his case. In a unanimous ruling released Thursday, October 23, the ICC Pretrial Chamber 1 dismissed Duterte's jurisdictional challenge. The court held that the prosecutor's preliminary examination before the Philippines' withdrawal took effect was enough to preserve its authority over alleged crimes committed during Duterte's administration. The chamber stated that the court can exercise its jurisdiction in the present case over the crimes alleged against Mr. Duterte that were committed on the territory of the Philippines while it was a state party. It added that the country's withdrawal shall not prejudice in any way the continued consideration of any matter already under consideration by the court prior to the date on which the withdrawal became effective. The legal dispute revolved around whether the Philippines' exit from the Rome Statute cut off the ICC's jurisdiction over alleged offenses committed while the country was still a member. Duterte's defense team claimed that the court lost its authority when it authorized a full investigation in September 2021, more than 2 years after the withdrawal. They argued that the Rome Statute requires a state to be a party at the time that the court exercises its jurisdiction. The defense further insisted that the 2018 preliminary examination was too informal to be considered a matter under consideration by the court, calling it an internal and non-justiciable process. Mai.
Josh, has the camp of the former president given a comment on the issue?
We haven't received any word yet from the Duterte camp, but we scheduled an interview later with attorney Salvador Panelo, which is one of the most vocal critics of the jurisdiction of the ICC over the Philippines during the time when the country was still a member of the state party. Mai.
George, with this development, the other thing that we are waiting for is a decision on whether former President Duterte is fit to stand trial. Any update on when a decision on this will come out?
You're right, Mai. We're still awaiting for the latest ruling of the ICC regarding the matter. But so far, the latest decision from the ICC was to suspend the confirmation of charges of former President Rodrigo Duterte. And while they are still evaluating the fitness of ex-President Duterte to stand trial for the confirmation of charges, the confirmation charges trial will remain suspended, Mai.
Thank you for the update, Josh Malimban. The Ombudsman is expediting its investigation into the flood control scandal with Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico, or former Congressman Zaldico, possibly facing charges soon. We will get the latest live from Hannah T. Hannah, what can you tell us?
My resigned Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico may face cases regarding the flood control scandal in the next 30 days. Ko, who has ties with construction firm Sunwest, is among the names tagged on the anomalies or alleged irregularities in a 290 million peso flood control project in Nauhan Oriental, Mindoro. Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla says the body is now taking measures to expedite the investigation in the flood control scandal. They're revising deadlines for every stage of case handling to make sure these cases move faster through the system. Within 30 days, the Ombudsman is looking at possible filings before the Sandigan Bayan. While the latest filing of cases involving ghost flood control projects may be expected on Monday, Remulla says the Department of Justice has already been deputized to file cases involving 5 ghost projects with evidence and testimonies ready from previous Senate hearings. He gave his assurance that cases will no longer drag on for 2 to 3 years as they usually do, as the entire process from fact-finding to litigation is being shortened to just 60 days. To avoid delays, they're also pushing for special graft courts in regional trial courts to ensure speedier trials and clear jurisdiction. Mai?
Hana, may balita na ba kung may magpapasko sa kulungan?
We actually asked Ombudsman Remulla that question. Sabi niya, kung siya yung tatanungin on the part of the flood control scandal investigation, syempre gusto natin as early as possible merong masampahan ng kaso. But hindi naman hinihiling no kung itong isang individual ay hindi naman sangkot talaga sa isang anomalya dito sa flood control, ay sana raw hindi magpasko sa kulungan. But on the part of expediting cases, inaasahan natin na before Christmas, hopefully, meron ngang masampahan na ng kaso. Mai?
Hana, very briefly, I would like to touch on the confusion from yesterday regarding the dismissal order for Senator Joel Villanueva and apparently the 2019 order from former Ombudsman Samuel Martires clearing Villanueva from any liability in the pork barrel case against him. What did Ombudsman Remulla say about this? Iiwanan na lang ba niya yung issue?
He actually said hawak na nila yung 2019 reversal under then Ombudsman Samuel Martires. Ibig sabihin, in short, it actually exists. Ito ngang pag-reverse nung naging 2016 dismissal order against Senator Joel Villanueva. Yung 2019 decision na yon under then Ombudsman Martires ay pag-grant nung appeal ni Senator Joel Villanueva tungkol nga doon sa order na siya ay ma-dismiss noong 2016. That's in relation to alleged misuse of 10 million peso pork barrel funds in 2008 when he was still Sibak Party List representative. Sabi ni Ombudsman Remulla, hanggang ngayon it remains a mystery kung bakit at paano lumitaw bigla itong 2019 order at decision ni dating Ombudsman Martires kahapon, kung kailan kahapon lang din niya sinabi na gusto niyang magsulat o sumulat sa kay Senate President Tito Soto to try to enforce the 2016 dismissal order against Senator Villanueva. We asked, paano ba nangyayari yun? Meron bang paglabag dun nga sa rules ng Ombudsman? Kung meron man, sabi niya they're still looking into it at they will not stop naman daw dahil na-discover din nila na dun sa previous system daw ng Ombudsman bago siya naupo sa pwesto, medyo kalat-kalat daw yung I think paghanap ng mga several document, kaya kahapon ay tila nagkaroon nga ng confusion. Back to you, Mai.
All right, thank you. Hana T, live from the Senate. President Bongbong Marcos heads to Malaysia for the 47th ASEAN Summit with several major agreements on trade and regional cooperation up for signing. Let's get the details from Ivy Reyes. Hi, Ivy, go ahead.
President Bongbong Marcos is set to attend 3 important signing ceremonies at the 47th ASEAN Summit in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The Foreign Affairs Department told Malacanang Press Corps that the ASEAN Trade and Goods Agreement, or ATIGA, signed in 2006 is an agreement among member states of ASEAN to enhance economic trade by lowering trade barriers and enhancing economic linkages. Why this amendment is crucial, according to the DFA, is due to its aim to enhance enhance or prepare ASEAN economies in bracing for external shocks and maintaining its supply chains amid global uncertainties. As it deals with external economic frictions, the upgraded ATIGA addresses recent trade hurdles, such as the tariff policies imposed by Washington. On this note, Manila said it welcomes U.S. President Donald Trump's attendance in the summit and hopes to, quote-unquote, constructively engage Washington, especially in the economic field. Meanwhile, on territorial disputes, the Philippines maintains a diplomatic relationship with China and noted that the West Philippine Sea is not the total sum or not the sum total of our relationship with the country. The DFA adds that the Philippines is still working on a legally binding code of conduct, or COC, in the West Philippine Sea with other member states and the People's Republic of China. Still on China, the ASEAN-China Free Trade Agreement 3.0 is set to be signed in this summit. This upgrade entails growing cooperation in key areas of digital economy, green economy, consumer protection, and competition. Another signing agreement that awaits the region is the adoption of Timor-Leste as the 11th member state of the association. Trade Secretary Cristina Roque will be the only one from the president's economic team who will join in Kuala Lumpur. Social Welfare Secretary Rex Gatchalian, Foreign Affairs Secretary Maria Teresa Lazaro, and Communications Acting Secretary Dave Gomez are also among the cabinet delegation of the president. My President Bongbong Marcos is set to leave for Kuala Lumpur tomorrow. And as the Philippines chairs the ASEAN 2026, the DFA said that Manila is still waiting on or has yet to release its agenda and plans for next year. Mai.
Thank you, Ivy Reyes, live from Malacanang. What was thought to be the government's first big move through the Maharlika Investment Corporation turns out to be no deal at all, at least not yet. The details in this report from Hanati.
I thought we were celebrating na, mababa yung nakuha natin. Diba? Nakatipid pa tayo. Napakagaling ng Maharlika team dahil nakatipid tayo, nakakuha tayo ng discount. Pero wala pa pala.
We are supposed to get...
Parang nabudol yata tayo eh.
What was thought to be a done deal is apparently not yet final. The government was supposed to make its first major investment through Maharlika Investment Corporation by buying a 20% stake in the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines. But as energy officials confirmed in a Senate hearing, that deal hasn't happened yet. The NGCP controls the country's entire power transmission grid. This means the government has not yet secured its supposed eyes and ears inside the country's sole power grid operator.
As per our conversations with MIC, Mr. Chair, wala pa yung, how do you call it, the contract itself. There was a letter of irrevocable letter of intent or...
Lawmakers say the Maharlika stake was supposed to give the government a crucial seat at the table, especially since a big share of NGCP is owned by a state-owned Chinese firm.
Especially with the precarious situation in the West Philippine Sea, we know for a fact that big share is owned by the State Grid Corporation of China. Yun ang worry namin dito no? Na with one flick of a switch, baka pwede tayo ma-paralyze Sana yun yung those are the things that hopefully will not happen, no?
The delay, senators warn, has real implications on national security and on where public funds are going.
I am not looking at making money out of it. I'm looking at securing the country. No? So that's the whole point. But I was surprised na wala pa palang ganon.
The Energy Department says it has yet to receive official communication from NGCP on the addition of Maharlika representatives to its board. This means there's still no government seat or vote in grid decisions.
So far, we have not gotten any official communication regarding we have 2 new members of the board. There's supposed to be 12 and an additional 2 to accommodate Maharlika. As concessionaires.
Senator J.V. Ejercito also reminded that this problem traces back to the early 2000s when NGCP's privatization was rushed under the Electric Power Industry Reform Act of 2001. He says amendments are needed to correct that mistake. Lawmakers urged the Energy Department to stay in the loop, saying this is not just a business deal. It's a matter of energy and national security. Hanati, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Good news for consumers. The Trade Department has imposed a price freeze on all basic necessities and prime commodities, effective until the end of the year. Andrea Salve joins us on the phone for the details. Andrea.
My Trade Secretary Cristina Roque has confirmed that there will be no price increase for basic necessities and prime commodities until the end of the year. Roque made the announcement during the department's price and supply monitoring of flowers, candles, and water bottles today, just a week before Undas. She said stakeholders are working together to ensure that consumers continue to enjoy fair and reasonable prices for goods. The agency also warned against overpricing and price manipulation, reminding the public that their online platforms and hotline remain open for complaints. The reminder comes as the DTI expects a surge in buyers of flowers, candles, and water bottles with Undas fast approaching. While the DTI does not currently have standard price points for flowers, they encourage sellers to maintain reasonable prices for the benefit of consumers. As for candles and water bottles, Roque reported that prices remain low or have been maintained based on the suggested retail prices set by the agency. She added that the SRP lists are available for public monitoring on the DTI's official social media pages. DTI Assistant Secretary Regino Malyari Jr. noted that according to sellers, there may be minimal price increases as Undas draws near. Roque emphasized that the agency is not out to discriminate sellers, but rather to inform and empower consumers so they can make better purchasing decisions. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you, Andrea Salve reporting. Somber news greeting us today. Content creator Eman Atienza has passed away. She was 19. An update from the County of Los Angeles medical examiner surrounding her passing at her residence on October 22, 2025 was posted, and the cause, it says, was self-inflicted. On Instagram, her mother, Felicia, says, quote, "To honor Eman's memory, we hope you carry forward the qualities she lived by, compassion, courage, and a little extra kindness in your everyday life." Eman has opened in the past about her mental health struggles. Our condolences to the family of Eman Atienza. East Timor is set to become ASEAN's 11th member this weekend, fulfilling a decades-long dream. The region's youngest and poorest nation first applied in 2011 and was granted observer status in 2022. Analysts say joining the ASEAN strengthens East Timor's political voice, though its economic gains remain uncertain. President Jose Ramos Horta calls the milestone a dream come true, saying, quote, "The road to ASEAN is more difficult than the road to heaven." Pope Leo XIV condemns the mistreatment of migrants as a grave crime. He urged governments to uphold their moral duty to provide refuge. Speaking at the Vatican, he said, abuses against migrants reflect not national sovereignty, but state-tolerated crimes. Pope Leo has been outspoken against President Donald Trump's immigration policies, calling them inhuman and questioning whether they align with church teachings.
Over in sports, Francisco Django Bustamante defies father time with an incredible performance at the 2025 Philippines Open Pool Championships. The 61-year-old Filipino billiards icon stunned world number 1 Federer Gorst of the U.S. on Thursday in Quezon City 10-9. Bustamante says he capitalized on the Americans' miscues to score the upset. Django will next face Harry Vergara in an all-Filipino showdown.
American media icon Kim Kardashian reveals she was diagnosed with a brain aneurysm. She made the revelation in an extended preview of her show, The Kardashians Season 7. Her doctors say it was due to stress apart from her hectic filming schedule and numerous business ventures. Kim says a main source of stress was her 2022 divorce with rap mogul Kanye West.
Up next, ahead of Miss Universe 2025, let's see what is in store. House of Yugen founder Josh Yugen and Miss Universe Sweden Daniella Lundqvist are here. And later in the show, Miss Universe Egypt and Miss Universe Denmark will join the conversation. Catch them after the break. The Daily Dish will be right back.
Word that means something so intensely beautiful, but you cannot. You cannot touch it. You can just only.
Because that's your real name. When did you make that shit?
20 after the pandemic.
After the pandemic, then you decided you're Yugen.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
I like
yeah.
The much-awaited 74th Miss Universe pageant is set to be held in Thailand on November 21st.
And we are lucky to have with us the Filipino behind the Miss Universe franchises in 4 countries and 3 of his beauty queens. Please welcome the founder of the House of Yugen, Josh Yugen, and Miss Sweden Daniella Lundqvist. We'll also talk later to Miss Egypt and Miss Denmark. So thank you so
Welcome
much
to
for
the
joining
Daily
us.
Dish, guys.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited to have you guys here. First of all, Josh, it has been, I looked through your resume, I looked through what you've done. You are trying to be a visionary in this particular field and industry. And it all started back in 2021. How in the world did a Filipino become the national director for multiple franchises of Miss Universe?
Well, first and foremost, I'm very thankful to Miss Universe organization because I have a different story. In 2021, they offered me to handle Bahrain. So we started the Gulf countries. So I actually have a PR company based in Dubai.
Yeah.
And we actually were the first one to bring Catriona Gray during her reign 2018 in Dubai. And I have a very good relationship with Miss Universe organization. And they told me, Josh would love to open Miss Universe in the Gulf, and you're the only one who can do it because you know you're connected to the media and to celebrities. So of course, who am I to say no? I'm very honored to accept that. And afterwards, next year, I actually told him I want to handle one more country. And he said, what country? And he said, Pakistan, because, you know, I've seen a lot of Pakistani women in the Gulf, so beautiful as their neighboring country, India. And their neighboring country, India, has been joining and winning pageants, like Sushmita Sen, of course, who won in their country. So I feel like, you know, why there's no Pakistan in the Miss Universe? And I actually told him, can I handle that? And they said, like, you might have problems with that. And I said, like, well, I need to take a risk, and I love that. I told him, you cannot cross the ocean unless you forget the beauty of the shore. So I actually was given Pakistan, and they told me, can you handle Egypt too? Because, you know, after a 4-year hiatus or 3-year hiatus, there's no Egypt, and they've been joining since forever. And I'm so glad that under my directorship, we got the first placement of Egypt last year.
Yes.
With
and she's with us today. So
with Lojina Sala.
Yeah.
And then this year, of course, I continue Egypt. And,
but Josh, wow! I mean, you keep adding on to your plate. But
yeah, this year added too.
I wanna find out about where was the interest in beauty pageants? How did you start? Was this when you were living here, or was it already in Dubai? What's the story?
When you're actually part of LGBTQ Filipino,
it's a prerequisite.
It's actually it's actually a rule for us, you know, to be able to know about pageantry. No, but seriously, it's a passion for me.
Yeah.
I love to give platform to women especially Miss Universe, you know, in our country, it's very famous. It's like our national sport.
Oh, it is.
It is. Whether you're part of the LBTG, I'm bundling that,
LGBTQ plus, yeah.
or you know you're not. It's a Filipino passion.
Yes,
you know,
yes, yeah.
we are one of the top countries in the world that's got more titles than most countries.
And we have the best trainers.
Yes,
That's wow.
actually, I want to go to that point in
Yeah.
just a bit, especially because Daniella's here, going to be training here as well, and of course, now working with the House of Yugen. First off, welcome back to the pageantry scene. If I'm not mistaken, you spent some time away. What's it like actually coming back?
Coming back for
pageantry,
for
yes.
pageantry. So I've been doing pageants for the past 8 years actually.
Yeah.
So I started in 17, but yes, I was actually competing last year.
Okay.
But before that, I had a few years break during the COVID.
Okay.
So this will be my 7th international pageant actually.
Wow.
So I'm super excited, and this is the biggest thing you can do within pageantry.
What's the allure, Daniela? Why do you still keep continuing to participate in beauty pageants?
I think
I'm sure it's a passion. That's not a question, but
why?
But why?
I think I just fell in love with it the first thing I did. I competed in the Miss Universe Sweden finals in 2017, and I fell in love with the girls and the women and the whole. It's a performance, it's an art form for me really, and I feel at home on the stage.
Yeah.
And also backstage when you are together with the girls and you're getting ready, you're dancing and vibing and everything. And going into the international stage, I felt so included in all the countries I've been to. I have met beautiful people, also not only the participants, but also, for example, the people here in Philippines. They greet you with such warmth.
Yes, but you know, Paolo, this is an interesting study because a lot of like, for example, our beauty queens, Pia, she tried several times, and other title holders also tried several times. And in your country, you weren't afraid of keep pushing and making sure that you get that international exposure. So how are you preparing yourself for the competition in November while you're here?
Yes, so this was the 4th time I tried the Miss Universe Sweden. So I know failure and I know getting back on the horse.
I wouldn't say failure.
No, it's never a failure because you always learn something from it, absolutely. So for the preparation, I have that in my backpack. I can use the knowledge I had from not being the Miss Universe Sweden, and I try again and I retry, and then you come back again. So here it's been amazing experience because we have the Passarella training, we have the Q&A training, and we have so much sponsorships and preparation for all of us, the 4 girls that's here under the House of Yugen.
Oh, that's great.
So it's been an amazing experience. You can't get this in Sweden. Yeah. You really can't.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Josh, you mentioned a while ago that what draws you to these girls, especially the ones that you're training, is the fact that they have a story. Is resilience what drew you to her as well?
True. So this year, I actually acquired Denmark and Sweden. So it's actually difficult, or it might sound challenging because Denmark is the reigning Miss Universe.
Yes.
So they were actually all surprised that it was given to a Filipino. But again, I have a very good relationship with Miss Universe. I think that I respect and understand their platform. And for me, it's actually about, it might sound cliche, but it's really about women empowerment. There are lots of stories that they need to be able to tell. Like for example, Daniella, Sweden hasn't been joining Miss Universe for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
And they're actually the powerhouse of Europe. They won 3 crowns.
Yes, they did.
But there's a lot of stories that we didn't know just because they're first world. For example, Jentelov. There's a saying in Scandinavia that's called Jentelov, that you cannot be better than the others. But
Jentelov.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what about those girls who wants to be able to dream and who wants to become beauty queens? Because for me, a woman should be anyone. They can be doctors, they can be engineers, but they can also become beauty queens. So,
so to that point, Ferdi, sorry about that. But then, because I want to go talk about the resume you had, actually enforcing that. If I'm not mistaken, with Bahrain, you actually pushed for the use of burkini.
Yes.
For Miss Egypt, who we have later on, she'll be the first for Miss Egypt to actually be from a minority, who's Christian and half Moldovan.
Yes.
And of course, when you take a look at Miss Regina last time around, she had vitiligo, right? So you're basically breaking whatever standards that we had.
It's a
for
statement that we
beauty.
sent, to the world, or to the universe rather, because there's a lot of women that people can relate to, but it's not the standard of a beauty queen. But this is what we're trying to break. These are the stereotypes that we want to, smash.
Yes. But you know who's smashing it? My dear friend's research. It's amazing, Pao. I'm on the surface right here.
No, it's all right.
It's like, wow. But going back to what you said earlier, and people were surprised that, you took over the franchise of Sweden and Denmark. And to me, I think it's universal. It doesn't have to be a certain citizenship or nationality, right? And of course, do they always ask you, because you're Filipino and it's a powerhouse, do they feel more comfortable?
I think so.
Right.
And I feel like Filipinos, should not be in the box of we're just, engineers, doctors, or waiters. We can be like owners of companies. So I'm very proud that, I'm a Filipino, aside from the corruption that we do have. But I'm really, really proud of the Filipino hospitality.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the trainers that we do have. So for me, we are actually the number one in pageantry.
Do you choose who to train and support?
Yes. So I actually have amazing trainers. Like for example, Ian Lawrence, who trained Michelle D, is one of our trainers. Anton, who trained my queens, is the one training Sweden. So I actually give it to different trainers. So for me, giving jobs as well to Filipinos is something imperative.
Yeah. Daniela, if I'm not mistaken, you did Miss World in 2019?
Yes.
So you did Miss World in 2019. Could you tell us just what's different between Daniela now and Daniela back in 2019?
I think I have worked with my advocacy, which is mental health awareness, and I have done it since 2019, and which is the year I entered Miss World. And in that stage, I know that I wanted to speak about it, but maybe I wasn't comfortable in myself at that point still. So I think I entered that because I was given a chance. I actually had 3 weeks to prepare for Miss World.
Okay.
So it was a big surprise, short amount of time.
And you have 2 weeks here.
And 2 weeks to prepare for this pageant. So I'm used to short-term notice. So for me, I felt not insecure, but I didn't know how to speak from my heart, and I didn't know how to deal with my knowledge within the struggle of mental health. But now, a few years later, it's been, how old am I even?
You don't have to say it.
You don't have to say
exactly.
it.
I always deny my age.
Oh yeah, that's good. 6 years later, at least, I'm here, and I really feel that I have processed it myself, and now I know how to speak about it in a good way that can also empower other women that goes through the same.
Very quickly, Daniela, before we go on a break, what is your most favorite thing about the Philippines?
Oh, I love the people here because I feel really welcomed. In Sweden, we sit, like for example on the bus, we never sit next to each other. We always sit with one seat in between each other. So I really miss the social part, and you can really feel that here. You can feel that people are inviting you, they see you and they greet you.
We're like sugar, you put a little bit of water, we all clump together.
Yes!
That is true. That is true.
All right, thank you so much, Josh and Daniela. Up next, we'll speak with Miss Denmark and Miss Egypt. Stay tuned to The Daily Dish. We'll be right back.
Now, you're still watching us here on The Daily Dish. Joining us now is Miss Universe Egypt, Sabrina, Majed, Erian. I hope I got that right. And Miss Universe Denmark, Monique, Sonne. Thank you so much, girls, for joining us. It's such a pleasure. How are you enjoying your time in the Philippines so far?
So far, it's really good. I really enjoy being here. There's a lot of good food and many amazing people here.
All right, how about you?
Oh, it's so great. I'm being first time here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting, and people are so kind, helpful, and the food is so delicious here.
Yeah, we're glad to hear that. But is it your first time in Southeast Asia?
No, I've been traveling. I was living 2 years in China.
Okay, wow, interesting.
Yeah,
It's my
and-
first time in Asia.
Wow,
Your
cool,
first
cool.
time. Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're adjusted to the heat already?
Yes.
Okay.
But I love the heat. So
Yeah,
that's
okay,
amazing.
but it's also humid here. So, sometimes, it affects your look to your hair and everything. So I'm sure that's a struggle. So when you arrived here, what were you expecting with the training and how you're preparing for your beauty pageant in November?
I was, of course, expecting we had to train a lot and be prepared.
Yeah.
But also, we got to see some culture, which I really also appreciate. So, actually, so far, all the expectations are living up for it.
Nice. What about you, Sabrina?
So I came here first time to Philippines, and it's a good experience, honestly, because I'm also here for training and for my Q and everything. And I like it here, honestly, so I feel
You
like
can stay.
Yeah.
You don't have to
if I have a chance, I would do that. Obviously, I will. Yeah.
We would love that. We
We will
love
show
that.
you more culture.
Yes.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Speaking of Ferdi, that's a great
Yes.
segue because we were talking to Josh a while ago. And Sabrina, I want to go with you first because you're going to be the first minority Miss Egypt representing, in Miss Universe. You are Christian and half Moldovan, and I'm not too familiar with the background of Egypt. Why do you feel is it so important to represent your heritage, your culture in that way?
Yeah, and the minority, of course.
Yes.
Of course. Well, because I think it's first time I know that there is someone like mixed, like half Moldovan, half Egyptian. Because it was never common, and people do not know about this because they're like, oh, you have to be full Egyptian to represent your country, which is not absolutely true because you can be half mixed. And people were always calling me like, oh, you don't look like Egyptian, you don't look like Egyptian, your face is like more like a little bit European or a different country. But like, yeah, I am Egyptian and I'm half, and that's why make me to represent Egypt in that way because I want to show that yes, you can be different even though you're half Egyptian. And also Christianity, of course, some people told me that there was before representing, but we never speak about this because it was not really allowed. I think that's why, and it was not popular. So right now it's getting really popular that, oh, she's like half Moldovan, half Egyptian, which is different.
But Paolo, I can't tell whether she's not Egyptian or not. I mean, I think you're just beautiful.
Yeah.
But how do you feel? Do you feel more Moldovan or Egyptian?
I feel both because
Okay.
because I have my mom. She's like more like Slavic vibe, and like she's like blondie. She's like my father's like Arab, like very like man, and it's different. So I have a two culture mixed. I live it in the both countries. So and I grew up in two different cultures. It's just something interesting, like it's different.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. Monique, I have to go to you now because we're going to have to talk about the fact that you are going to try to keep the crown in Denmark.
Yes,
pressure.
back to back.
Yes.
No, yes, of course there is pressure, but
Yeah.
again, it's my journey. It's new for me too. I will just take every day as it is, every day as an experience. So, yeah.
Has your predecessor given you advice, coaching, and did she tell you, okay, Monique, you got to do this. This is what you want to watch out for and stuff like that?
We haven't really gotten to talk about anything, but of course a little bit of advice here and there. But that's the same she gave to all of the others. So. Yeah.
I want to get your comment on this because
Yes.
there was a few. I know, right? No, there was a statement that was going around based on your run here because a lot of people have covered your arrival, your trainings. One of the things that stood out is that there's a statement going around. It is the new era of Scandinavian beauty.
Yes.
Do you feel that's true? And can you explain what that is?
Of course, I mean, in general in Scandinavia, beauty pageant is not a thing. It's not something we really like, oh, wow, and romanticize in kind of a way. So of course, in that way, it's new to represent Denmark. And also Victoria put us on the map, which is amazing. And of course, I mean, Scandi girls, it's a different look. Yeah.
But you know what, Paul? I gotta tell the girls, especially Miss Sweden, Miss Egypt, and Miss Denmark. You know we have a tradition here in the Daily Dish, because
Daily Dish.
every time we have a beauty contest guest,
Yeah.
they win.
They win.
Really?
Yes.
No,
Really? Really?
Really?
It's true.
Yeah.
We already have
On this
two
channel.
winners. Miss Grand International and Mr. Kurt was Mr. World, Mr. International.
Yeah.
Mr. International, and that was back to back, 3 weeks in apart.
Yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
do you feel lucky to be here?
I mean, absolutely.
Yes,
to be here.
absolutely. Oh my God, yes.
I like how we made it all about ourselves.
Of course.
No, but I mean, you guys should.
I wish Miss Denmark was here so we can see her reaction.
Yeah, I know, but everyone's faces for sure. I mean, it's so great, and I think the nice thing is that you all have great stories to tell as well. Sabrina, going back to you, because your predecessor made a lot of waves because one, I think it was the first time Egypt finished that high in Miss Universe, and two, vitiligo, you're coming in with a different story as well. I mean, is that what you feel makes you a bit special, especially to Egypt itself, that you're coming in look a bit different, but still more relatable to other people?
I think so, because Lujain Salak last year ago, she's Miss Universe Egypt. She went to top 30 and it became really popular because also the thing it was that beauty pageant was not the thing in Egypt. Now it started to be going on, which I love it. And my story is also because I'm different as well, because I'm mixed, which is like, it's not really common, as I said before. That's why make me, I think, unique. And also my advocacy. It's also about the children help. We have a city called Garbage City. So that city is like carrying all the garbage from around the Cairo, Egypt, and it's like in one place.
Yeah.
I went there and I saw the condition of the life. It's not really the best,
yeah,
I could say. And that's why maybe my advocacy is different than previous girls. So I think that's why I'm here today.
I love that you being different makes you more beautiful rather than sets you apart in a negative way. But Monique, we talked about advocacies a while ago. We heard from Miss Sweden as well. Where do you stand? What do you want to try and push?
Well, of course, there's a lot of things I would like to do something about, but especially mental health. For me, that's really a thing, and especially in Scandinavia.
Oh, okay.
Mental health, because we don't have the same kind of problems as maybe other countries, but especially mental health is so important. You can look so amazing outside, look you're so happy, but inside that's where it really counts, which is terrible.
Is it a concern in Denmark at the moment?
Yes,
is it because of
we're one
societal
of the
pressures,
yeah.
or
yes, but we're one of the countries that use most antidepressants too.
Oh my
which
goodness!
is really not good. Of course, that we have to do that, but also we're known to being the happiest countries, which is also kind of ironic,
I
right?
gotta debate on that.
Exactly.
We'd fight on
I
that.
mean, there's a lot about that, but
Maybe it's because of all the antidepressants.
yes,
Yeah.
maybe.
Maybe,
It could
right?
be.
It's
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
She brought that up, not me. That's so funny.
But how's the training so far here in the Philippines? Of course, we are, as mentioned earlier, we're quite popular for training beauty queens.
And you guys are good at it.
Yes,
I mean, we learned the hips to move and everything here.
You look like you're about to...
Yeah, I think we can become more confident
Nice.
because when we learn it, we like have a certain way we have to walk, and I feel like we become more
right?
unique in kind of a way. And I have a really, really good trainer.
So it's the same here for me because I never trained passerella in my whole life. It's like first time. I got like cried. I had like upside down my mood, and I was like, why is that so hard? Because in the video you can see, oh, it's so beautiful. She walks so like gentle and professional, but it's so hard. It's like because I'm working model, and it's so different walk from modeling.
So different.
And then passerella, because passerella it's really work. You really put effort, and I think Philippines is the best country for training. That's why we're here. Because the Philippines has I think the old beauty pageant, all the queens winning the crowns. So I think that's the reason why we're here. They're like so good.
Yes, the passerellas here, especially for our candidates, actually have names for their passerella. So, no pressure, but what would you name your passerella, Sabrina?
Oh my God. I would just need to think about it because I think my passerella will be very, very elegant. Like elegant thing?
We should call it the Phoenix.
The Phoenix.
Yes.
I love that.
What about you, Monique?
Well, I was about to say empowering, but I don't know if that's I don't know. I would say empowering, no?
The empowering walk.
Empowering,
All
yeah.
right.
All right, I love that. Wow, I got scared for them when you asked that question. that was probably the most difficult one we've asked here today. Oh my goodness.
All right. So thank you, ladies. Miss Universe Egypt, Sabrina, Majid, Erian, and Miss Universe Denmark, Monique, Sonne. Thank you so much. For more stories after this break, The Daily Dish will be right back.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. Now, over in Florida, these animals in Key West are ready for Halloween. Take a look at this. A pony dressed as a toothless dragon from How to Train Your Dragon, and a dog dressed up as horror icon Chucky the doll took center stage at the Pet Masquerade Party. The theme for this year was bedtime stories and magical stories, and proceeds from the event go to charity to care for rescued and adopted animals. So cute.
That's too cute. I love that.
And I can't wait for our Halloween costumes.
Oh my gosh, I'm
that's
scared.
happening.
Because
we will surprise you.
you guys are choosing my Halloween costume, so I'm quite freaked out at the moment. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are still counting down the days to Christmas, and we have only how many days left?
62
days!
Yes.
62 days.
That's it for us today, Friday, October 24. And thank you, Paolo, for joining us this whole week.
We're gonna miss you, buddy.
No, you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
You're gonna be back anyway, so why don't you say goodbye?
Yes. Join us again on Monday for more Real Talk.
A lot of spilled tea.
With zero filter. I'm Paolo del Rosario, sitting in for Monique.
I'm Ferdi Salvador, always on top with the news and stories that matter most.
And thanks for making us your lunchtime companion. I'm Mai Rodriguez. That's a Daily Dish served. Have a great weekend, guys.